Between moments of strength and moments of weakness, between joy and sorrow, the life of our prophet, peace be upon him, was a flowing river of light, patience, and wisdom. I am Abu Abdullah, sharing with you a seerah that is never tiresome, a journey never forgotten, a seerah that settles in the heart and touches the soul. So let us begin our journey in the name of Allah. The 35th part. Reasons for Lady Khadijah's desire to marry the Prophet, peace be upon him. Maysara said, "We reached the outskirts of Makkah, and some men from the caravan went ahead to announce the arrival of the caravan. The people rushed out to greet it. Lady Khadijah was sitting on the balcony of her home with some of her servants and women. She watched and observed the approaching caravan. Now the words of our mother, Khadijah, may Allah be pleased with her and grant her satisfaction. She said, I saw a cloud shading the caravan. When the people dispersed to the right and left, only Muhammad remained, and the cloud remained above him until he, peace be upon him, reached my home. Then the cloud departed from above his head. She said, I had already learned of the great prophet he had made. So I said to him, O Muhammad, Quraysh has traded for me many times, but no one has ever brought such a prophet as you have this year through your work and presence. He, peace be upon him, replied, That is Allah's bounty. He did not attribute the merit to himself. She continued. When he left, Maysara sat and told me everything that had happened on their journey, the news of the monks and his noble character. At this point, Khadijah's memory returned to an incident that had happened to her long ago. Our mother, Lady Khadijah, may Allah be pleased with her and grant her satisfaction, was a woman of great wealth and beauty. She was resolute and was known as the Pure Lady. All of the nobles of Quraysh wished to marry her, but she refused them. There was a reason for her refusals. Before her marriage to the Prophet, peace be upon him, there was an idol in Quraysh during the days of ignorance. The women of Quraysh would gather around it. It was like a festival for women, much like the numerous celebrations we see for women in our time. On one such occasion, the women gathered around the idol, singing and dancing. A Jewish rabbi passed by and stood near the Kaaba. He said, O women of Quraysh! At that time, intermixing between men and women was not frowned upon. It was normal, just like the openness and progressiveness of today. He said, O women of Quraysh! Soon during your lifetime, the prophet of the end of times will be sent. Whoever among you can become his wife should do so, for this is his time. Such words from a man in a gathering of women, even in the days of ignorance, were met with disapproval. The women were free, pure, and chaste. They pelted him with stones. This means they threw pebbles at him, as the ground of the haram was covered with pebbles, rejecting and rebuking his words. How could he say such a thing in a gathering of women? However, Lady Khadijah was struck by his words. She thought to herself, This man is from the people of the book. He speaks with knowledge and advises that the prophet of the end of times is near, and that whoever can become his wife should do so. She kept this in her heart. When Maysara told her about Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the monk's words about him, as well as his noble traits and character, her hope grew that he might be the awaited prophet. She said, I went to my cousin, known as Waraka ibn Nawfal. He was a man of the Arabs and one of their nobles, meaning he held a high status among the Arabs. Waraka had grown weary of the idols of Quraysh. He was fed up with idol worship and the ignorant customs of Quraysh. He began searching for the religion of Ibrahim, but he could not find anything that would help him understand the faith of Ibrahim, peace be upon him. So he sought guidance from the people of the book, read their books, and embraced Christianity. He delved deeply into Christianity, became a monk, and studied their books, gaining knowledge about the prophet of the end of times. He learned that this prophet would come from the land of the Haram and would be a descendant of Ismail, peace be upon him. When Khadijah spoke to Waraka, she said, O cousin, you have studied the books and acquired knowledge. Listen to what Maysara told me about Muhammad ibn Abdullah. Maysara said to me this and that. She informed him of everything that had happened. Waraka said, O Khadijah, I know that this is the time of the prophet of the end of times. I am not unaware of Muhammad ibn Abdullah. I have been observing him for many years, ever since his father ransomed him with 100 camels. This means that Waraka had been following the Prophet's news, peace be upon him. Waraka began recounting to Khadija the events he had witnessed. He spoke of the time when the Prophet was with his grandfather Abdul Muttalib, when he was lost by Halima, and his grandfather heard a voice inside the Kaaba saying, "Do not fear for Muhammad, for he has a Lord who will protect him." He recounted all the events that had occurred. Then Waraka said, "As of now, O Khadija, we cannot speak of this matter. For now, we simply observe. This is an affair of the heavens. We cannot judge it or be certain." Khadija said to him, "O cousin, do you see any good in me offering myself in marriage to Muhammad?" Waraka replied, "The best thing you can do. If Muhammad is the awaited prophet, you would be the most honorable woman in this world and the hereafter. Do not hesitate, O Khadija." Here ends the journey for today. But the story is not over yet. We'll meet you soon in a new part of the series of this beloved. Until then, send blessings and peace upon him. May you remain always longing for our Prophet, and peace be upon you, and the mercy of Allah. This seerah was written by the humble servant in need of Allah. Al-Anwar Al-Muhammadiyah. It is your duty to spread the seerah of your Prophet, peace be upon him. Perhaps you will meet him at the blessed fountain while he is pleased with you, and this is a reward that will be written for you.